this interface for factshift.com. Currently, it's not very good. There are these Boon Bane Bon Bong and Honk buttons that are part of a different project for lore.land. Those don't necessarily have a place with factshift.com, but maybe we'll see how those ecosystems intersect. There are these buttons that change the kinds of nodes that you can add, as well as a pretty chaotic way of adding them. There are functions that allow you to link the nodes in a circle and then increase the strength of those connections. You can release nodes, change the charge, increase the radius or reduce the radius, set the radius, add new nodes with this language that I developed. You can save nodes and then have them reappear when you refresh the page. Right now, only the relationships that are written using Swoop actually have configured links. But it isn't too difficult to click the Bone button again, then the Honk button, to make those relationships a bit more salient. You can see how multiple phrases relate to each other. So this is an example. This is another thing. I can compare what these have in common. So with this, I might want to specify another thing. An example. There are a lot of issues with it. For example, I can't interact with these nodes. I think that I can tab to them. But the tab index is pretty wonky. There's also an error where if I have the shift key pressed, then it removes the fixed positioning while I'm tabbing because it checks for a key down. And if there is a key down event, it counts that as a click. I like the interface overall for the things that I would want to do with it because it's really easy for me to just refresh the page or change the mode. Or display, I should say. And in this case, I can focus on different things. One of the problems is that this isn't very well documented at all. So recently I've been considering how to make this a bit more, a bit clearer. And so I recently added Vite, which gave me a dev server, which means I can get rid of this serve function. I'm not using that right now. What else? There's also this input.json file, which I think that I'm going to move to another folder. In general, I've been approaching this pretty willy-nilly. I have been approaching this pretty willy nilly. I haven't been listing out the things that I want to do before I do them.